second point we wrote down was commanding the room.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like the sound of it, but it can be easily misinterpreted as to what that means, right? So I had a young team in here the other night, and I had just finished a workout group before them with some of the older kids, so some of the U18 kids that were in here. So the team came in, and there's like 15 of them. They're just young guys, so I'm just showing them basic movement stuff. And so the one kid that just finished his workout, he goes, "Man, that's a lot of kids. Like, how do you handle that many kids?" And I was like, "Oh, they're great." I was like, "I never have an issue with them at all." He's like, "Well, like how? Like, what do you do?" So the kids, because I was sitting kind of finishing up that group, these guys were all in there horsing around a little bit just in the gym before we started the workout. And I, like, loud, not yelling, but loud. It was just like, "Boys," like gave them a shout. All of them stopped, dead quiet, looked right at me right away, like that, right? And then I looked back to the kid and I was just like, "That's how." Because you set the tone of the room day one with the kids, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that you're Army guy drill sergeant all the time. That's not what commanding the room means, right? So I think for me, then you can kind of say what you think of kind of what that means. For me, it's having enough of a voice where you can stop the bullshit when there's too much bullshit going on, because they're kids, right? They're going to start messing around. They're going to want to play games, and they're going to start goofing off. They're going to get overexcited and lose their focus on what we're actually trying to do and all those types of things. So you have to have enough of a voice where you can stop that dead stop it, right? And then the other part of it is they respect you, right? Which you touched on earlier.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the two things for commanding the room. It doesn't mean you're Army guy all the time, like arms crossed. You're so intimidating to them that they can't help but be quiet all the time, you know? So those are kind of my thoughts on that. But I think that's a really important thing to have, because you see that with a lot of coaches or teachers, is they can't reel the kids in when they need to be reeled in, you know? So you have to have good command in that way.
Yeah, I think we were talking about like the commanding the room for me, commanding the ice, commanding my dressing room. It's like, first, as you said, there's a respect. I've earned a little bit of respect through when I step on the ice. I can do what not every coach can do that, but when I step on the ice, I can do what I'm teaching, right? I can do it at a good level, so they go, "Okay, this guy knows what he's doing." So that's actually kind of important.
Yep.
I'm a math teacher, and I don't know how to do 2 + 2. Well, you
Yep.
should.
Yeah. 2 +
Well, yeah,
2.
I don't know square roots and stuff, so that's the best I could come up with.
You can do a more complicated example of 2 + 2.
But you command a room by like, so if you can do the thing, it makes it better.
Yeah.
Number two is, if some people can get some good attention with the kids by being goofy or like horse around stuff, but then that goes so far because they get taken advantage of.
Right.
So the bottom line is that you have to set the tone right from the beginning of the season, every practice, every day, and it's like they know that there's a time where things have to be dialed in, and there's the times where you can goof off a little bit. But so when coach walks in, that means it's listen time. One of the things I always did as a coach, and I do it today, because I'm helping, teachers and stuff like that, I would think, when kids that haven't been around me for too long, because like it's amazing, they obviously get away with a lot of stuff somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So I think I've used this example before, but I don't know. I always told Charlie growing up, all our kids this. I don't care if you get an A. I don't care if you get an F in your class. I really actually don't. Providing that you're giving some effort. Some. But even then, I actually don't really care. That's just me. But what I do care about is that if I got a call from the school, from one of the teachers, from the principal, or anything like that, that there was a sign of any disrespect to that teacher, then I'll go to the teacher and say, "Yeah, this kid's a jackass. I'm going to deal with him." And that will disappoint me. And Charlie knew that. Avery knew that. Carter knew that. Like that was the end of it. You do not disrespect people that are putting time, energy into your life.
Yep.
So when kids go on the ice, that's what I say to them. So I say that, but so I say that to them, with them hoping they go back to their. You've heard me say this, not just for me. You should be doing this for every one of your coaches and teachers.
Yep.
So that message is planted to them that there is an authority, and you don't have to like them. Like, I know Charlie comes home with teachers, and I go, "Yeah, he's a wiener, man.
Yeah.
The guy's a wiener, but he's your teacher, and you have to stay between the lines and respect don't disrespect them in front of people, or
Yeah.
have that respect. So I feel like as a teacher, you should teach that.
Yep.
And if you do that, you're showing them disrespect is not good under any circumstances. The other thing you should do, and I think teachers should do this as well, but when I coached, I was always the alpha, right? So as the alpha, I can empower my other coaches by just saying things. Meaning, Tom was one of my assistant coaches one year. Tom was more of a quiet guy, really nice guy, and he didn't have the hockey knowledge. But I would always say that when Tom walks in this room and speaks to you, you need to shut up. I don't say it like that, but you need to be quiet. You need to listen because he's got something to say,
Yep.
and it's important. And we're all on the same level. I just happen to be the head coach. So what that's called edification. It's building other people up,
Yep.
and we build other people up. Like if I talk to people, like the kids, and you do it to the kids, and you don't even probably even know you do it. But when I'm not here, or sometimes I am there, everyone calls me Uncle Ant. Where's that come from? That's you.
Yeah.
You build like Coach Andy, Coach Andy, Coach Andy. So when Coach Andy actually walks in the room or says hi to
That's
them,
right. Yeah.
it freaking means something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If you
I
don't
didn't
want
think of
Uncle
that.
Andy to snap,
Yeah, that's right.
right?
Yeah.
So it's automatic. There's a respect factor, and it goes vice versa. Well, that's what I say. Like Eric's all over this thing. He puts the time. We build each other up.
That's right.
So what happens is you build. Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're building other people up. So your expectation when someone walks in the room, they go, "Oh, go, okay. Oh, yeah, I could see why he
Right.
is the boss, or I could see why he's the this, the that, the coach." So that's it's actually critical.
Yeah. And to go back to Jocko thing, that book, Dichotomy of Leadership, I want to make it clear that it's not always drill sergeant mode either, right?
No.
That's what you have to understand as coaches, because everyone's had a coach like that where it's like Mr. Joe Tough Guy all the time.
Yeah,
And it's like you just are not getting
Gets old.
the idea, man. You just don't get the point.
Yeah.
So I think it's also an important thing to do with the commanding the room is you also have to be able to keep it light too, right? There has to be when it's time to be in command, you can do that. But then you can walk around to any person on the ice or anyone in your classroom or anyone on whatever team, and you can goof around with that person, and be close but not too close. That's the Jocko, one of the Jocko principles, right? You want to be close where it's like we have a trust, we have almost a friendship, but not so close that you don't take me seriously, right? Yeah. So that's good. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.